the #1 Costa Rica real estate and investment podcast, bringing you experts from all over Costa Rica.
Good afternoon, guys, and welcome to episode 276 of Costa Rica Real Estate and Investments with me, your host, Richard Bexon. Today, coming to you from La Fortuna. So sorry that I'm not in my office kind of recording studio. So the sound may sound a little echoey or tinny here in our luxury 5-bedroom villa, which a lot of you actually invested into up here. Just absolutely stunning, guys. Probably the best project we've ever managed. We just have an amazing team on it. A good project manager from Belong, Costa Rica, a great engineer from Eje Constructivo, and just a really good foreman here as well. They're just some of the key players here when building. I think if anyone knows, a project here in Costa Rica is only as good as the team that you have on it. So, if you are building or looking to build, we do offer project management services, guys. A lot of the time clients are like, well, that was easy. Maybe I didn't need you. And it's like, it was easy because you had us. So anyway, if you're interested, feel free to reach out to us, info@investingcostarica.com. That's info@investingcostarica.com. I know we've built quite a few of you guys listening to this, homes here throughout Costa Rica. But today we're going to be talking with Cristina Jones. She's the owner and broker for We Are Costa Rica Real Estate. It's a company that's focused mainly on the Central Valley and mainly in La Guasima, in Los Reyes and those areas there, guys. We're doing quite a bit here on the Central Valley just because there's been some requests for it. So today we're going to be talking to her about what happened in her market in 2025, and particularly, kind of that Los Reyes area, which I personally used to own a lot there and was going to move there. And there's a school next door, which I'm sure that she'll talk about, so I'll not talk about it too much. But anyway, we're going to be talking about that. So let's get straight into the podcast. Good afternoon, Chrissy. How are you doing?
Hi, Richard. I'm good. How are you?
Good. It's been a long time coming, this podcast.
I know. I'm super excited. I feel like this was a spot that anyone in this business has had. So I'm super happy to join you. Thanks for the opportunity.
I think we've tried before, Chrissy. Just schedules never kind of seem to meet up. But anyway, it's an
Good,
absolute
good. So that means we're someone too, right? There you go.
Exactly. But well, Chrissy, we're here end of December, or mid to late December. A lot of volatility, I would say, in Western markets this year. Probably looks like it's here to stay. I can't see that changing anytime soon, to be honest with you. But what would you say has happened generally in Costa Rica, and then probably in your area, of La Guasima and kind of the Central Valley area?
Well, I think Costa Rica has gone through a lot this year, and there's polar opinions sometimes even on what's going on down here. But I think, Costa Rica is like a really good wave, not only known for surfing, right? But it's here to stay. And depending on who is looking for what, there's a place. And in my market particularly, we work really nationwide, but I live in Los Reyes in La Guasima, as you know, and I've made this my personal home. So as an ambassador to the area, I've kind of become an ambassador to the area, not only because I'm based out here. We're on fire. La Guasima right now has grown. In fact, the other day, the municipality, I was doing some research, and the municipality put this thing out that since 2011, La Guasima has grown 54% in population. So obviously, that's a good 14, 15 years of time, but over 50% of that has happened since the pandemic in 2020. So from 2020 to 2025, La Guasima has hit a huge boom. I think Hacienda Los Reyes is just like the crown jewel of the area, of course, is leading the market. I would say that the people that traditionally were looking in the general metropolitan area at like Valle del Sol or Villarreal are now going just a little bit west. We're really only about 15 minutes from Santana on Route 27. And it's still kind of like a more outdoorsy vibe, not so like city congested like Santana and Escazú is. So we're doing great. I think this is our time.
Yeah, that business, it's funny how, because it always moves west, if that makes sense, in Costa Rica, down the 27, whether that's the Coyol Free Trade Zone, whether it's Gracie developing, whether it's La Guasima. But I kind of feel that La Guasima was set up with the infrastructure to begin with of an automercado, of an international English school, before kind of the boom, if that made sense. A lot of the time, it's like the real estate comes and then that comes after. But it seems that La Guasima had all that stuff beforehand.
I agree. And it's actually been, I mean, it's a huge benefit because I would say GSD, which is at the Bay, it's a fantastic school out of Madrid, is at the Bay of Los Reyes, Country Day School. I went to CDS, the original campus. I mean, obviously I'm 44, so that's what, how many years ago?
It doesn't
Uh,
matter. It doesn't matter.
you know, it doesn't matter, but we were in Escazú.
Yeah.
But the new campus opened out here and it opened. I mean, we're like 7 minutes from La Guasima. So I would say like the two leading schools, Pan American, of course, is still a leading school, only about 15 minutes away from here. But CDS, Country Day School, and GSD are in this area. So for people that are looking to relocate with kids, this is actually kind of where you really want to be.
Yeah, I mean, look, I'm biased. I used to own a lot in Los Manzanos in Los Reyes, where I was going to build
Right,
a house.
right.
Just in the end, we decided to stay in Heredia just for kind of family reasons. But it was spectacular. I mean, it's kind of, I mean, it felt like you were so close to everything, but you were kind of out in the countryside.
I was mentioning that to you before, like when we were chatting, that I've also seen a big amount of the market that has invested. We have one of our main markets, of course, is the expat market.
Yep.
And a lot of my clients have invested in Guanacaste with us or without us in the past. And they're looking kind of to access maybe better schools, or they're looking at the general metropolitan area as an option for them, having already invested on the coast, now looking to move inland. And this product offers, you're in the city, but you're not in that like congested, once again, city of San Jose. This is in New
Yeah.
York City. It's not like a city that you would, think about, right, as a city. So while you have access to all the amenities and access to the metropolitan life, you still have the benefits of open space, the greenery. Lots are a lot larger than you're going to find. And of course, there's more value to the land still now, which is changing, but
Golf
definitely.
course, polo, Automercado, which does, international food from everywhere. I mean, again, as I said, it has all the ingredients and it had it all from the beginning. So yeah, it was smart what they did there. So, but I mean,
We're happy about it,
I
definitely.
still think there's tons of value in Los Reyes because again, I look at some of the prices of some of even the older houses, the newer houses there, and I just can't believe it sometimes, because at some point I'm gonna be looking to buy my next house. And when I start looking at prices of stuff, I'm like, wait, like this is Heredia, not like, Santana or something. And I'm like, in Los Reyes, you can get for, I mean, $500,000, $600,000 and even further up, like you can get amazing homes.
Amazing homes. And you can get a lot. I mean, anywhere really from, there's the smaller ones. I mean, there's 300 square meter lots and 600 square meter lots. Los Reyes is an interesting product within La Guasima in itself because it has all these sub communities, as you know. So if you want a smaller lot, you have that. But we're better known for the larger lots with 1,000, 2,000 square meters in size. And then they go all the way up to 5,000 in different areas like Villas del Arroyo.
Yeah.
So if you think about the amount of land that you're getting here compared to other areas, the value is there for sure.
I mean, for anyone listening to this that's like, oh, this sounds pretty interesting. I mean, what would an entry price be for like a three-bedroom home? Like just a basic three-bedroom home on a
Right.
smaller lot, roughly. I know that's
The-
difficult, but just,
I
yeah.
mean, well, no, right about there. I mean, the average ticket currently right now in Los Reyes is $630,000. So
Okay.
that's the average of what is selling. I mean, there's homes here in the $2 million frame price range. There's properties in the $4 million range. But there's also something that's really interesting about La Guasima and Los Reyes particularly. It's gone through this renaissance. So there's a huge opportunity to buy like an older home
Yep.
and remodel it. So I've had, for example, older homes that have been bought in the $350,000 price range, and we've flipped it for 800,000.
Wow.
So depends. The older homes have, a little bit better pricing, but right now, $600,000 on average will buy you pretty much a brand new home.
Wow. But I mean, even an older home, I mean, the thing is, old homes in Costa Rica, and I say older, are just solid, concrete, brick, like,
Oh,
they'll
totally.
last forever.
And then an older, I get that from my clients a lot. What's older? I mean, some people, I've had clients that older is like 100 years old, and I'm like,
We don't do that
you know,
here.
I mean, this isn't, we don't do that. We don't have this historic sort of, no, I mean, we would consider an older home, maybe it's something that's about 20 years old,
Yep.
you know, perhaps. And they're very, very easy cleanups, you know, floors, bathrooms, kitchen, you know, quick facelift
Yeah.
upgrading of finishes. Nothing like you have to have these homes torn down by no means. But right now, that's also another interesting piece of information about this area. There are 19 brand new constructions underway in Hacienda Los Reyes right now. So that attests to the growth.
I love how you just know everything about Los Reyes. I know you live there and work in it. It's just great when somebody really, knows their numbers. So
Well, you know, I do think, and this is not for me to say, but they do, you know, Los Reyes is the kings, right? So that I'm the queen of the kings. That's
yep.
what they say. La reina de los reyes, right?
That's the word on the street. Chris invented
No,
the show.
that's the word on the street. No, no. I live here, and you know, and I it's funny because it was like reverse engineering. When I moved here, and I certainly didn't run in this area, and I moved here when Henry and I got married because we fell in love with it. And the rest came after. We started seeing this big opportunity to promote the area once we were neighbors of the community. And, you know, everything else is history pretty much.
Wow. Yeah, I mean, and La Guasima has a lot of other, apart from Los Reyes, of course. I mean, there are a lot of other developments down there as well.
Well,
Uh,
the entire area, I mean, the general area that we consider like La Guasima even encompasses Hacienda Espinal, which
yep,
is San Rafael. So it's like Santana, Ciudad Colón, and then San Rafael, and then Guasima. But San Rafael and Guasima are interconnected even through the back roads. So Hacienda Espinal is out here, Hacienda Los Reyes, which we've spoken about, Villas del Arroyo, Espabel. You know, these are really nice, large gated communities that are well to do.
yeah, yeah. I mean, apart from like that area, what other areas of Costa Rica do you get the sense that are like La Guasima that are growing?
Well, you know that's like hilarious, and because I just had this comparison with a client, and she's like, "Los Reyes makes me feel like Hacienda Pinilla, you know, all the way
Yep.
north in Guanacaste." And I'm like, "Well, you know, far from it, really. There's like no coast here, and we're not." But that kind of like, you know, she's like, she lived there and she moved here, and she's like, "I ride my bike out there, and I ride my bike here," and I'm like, "Well, it's a lot less hot than Hacienda Espinal, of course." I think Hacienda Los Reyes is the new Valle del Sol, to be
Yep.
honest. I mean, I think Valle del Sol, traditionally, as we said, the city has been moving west. You know, the city's always moved west. When I was in high school, I mean, the east side of San Jose was kind of where everybody was living, and Escazú was just in that process of being developed. And I remember Santana was full of horses, and it was like horse country and ranches. Um, you know, where now that's more of like the city, right? So, um, I would say Valle del Sol is a lot more congested, but it's that kind of like family-oriented living. And of course, it has the golf course,
Yeah.
which Los Reyes has as well. So there's a certain similarity to that, I would say.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, because speak to a lot of people here, like Grecia is growing at a rapid speed.
Yeah.
Grecia, San Ramon, and I don't know whether that's going to slow down or probably continue just because of the revolution, free trade zone out there.
Well, you know, the trade zones is a big, big thing. There's like massive growth trends right now in this area because of that. Grecia doesn't have the kind of schools that we have. So we do have neighbors that live in Los Reyes that are working in evolution. So that's
Yep. I
it's
mean,
a skip and a jump. I mean, you're still looking at what about like 45 minutes.
yeah,
But you know, I used to live in Miami, you know, as you know, and I lived in Aventura and I worked on South Beach.
yep,
So, you know, that 40-minute commute was like nothing.
yeah.
But in Costa Rica, things are a lot closer, so that feels like a lot. But definitely, I would say if you're looking to a certain type of lifestyle that Grecia might still not be offering, La Guasima does. So.
It's funny what you were mentioning there, just about like the east side kind of used to be where it was at. It moved out to the west. It tried to got pulled back a little bit, when Barrio Escalante started to kind of move a little bit, but that seems to have kind of died down, and it's like really pushed west again.
You know, I think it's it has this like gourmet sort of like restaurant vibe,
Yep.
definitely what I think was happening in or is still happening in Escalante and Barrio Dent and all of that. But I don't see I don't know, maybe it's like Soho in New York a little bit, or
Oh,
I don't, it's not the family oriented, open, airy space land sort of vibe at all,
yeah.
that even Escazú and Santana has. So I think it's good for a younger crowd. I think it's more, more students and stuff, but the professional crowd, the families, and of course, people that are coming down to Costa Rica to retire, we have a lot. We did really well during the pandemic with what I call like Plan B, and we've specialized as an agency in Plan B a lot. And now that's become like Plan A, depending whatever's happening up north, people that are wanting to relocate, get out of what's going on there, are looking a lot
Yeah.
at us and this area. Yeah.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, Costa Rica is not the cheapest place to live, but like again, we don't have heating. Sometimes we have cooling, but I suppose in Los Reyes you don't need AC all the time either. I mean, you can just open the doors for part of the day, right?
Definitely. Like it's warmer. I mean, I'm not gonna say that the weather is anything. It is warm. I certainly think it's warm. It's warmer than Escazú. But cross ventilation, just have the house properly built. I have AC. I have central AC in my house. I never turn it on. I use it a lot like March and April.
Yeah,
Um, but I sleep with the AC on just because
yeah,
I like to snuggle.
yeah.
So I have a duvet. Like Henry, my husband, makes fun of me. Like I have a super thick duvet and I cover myself up to here and I love it. But that's just how I like to sleep.
Hey, I'm a duvet guy as well, anyway. And I'll sleep with it, but I live in a radio which is a little colder, but like, I'll sleep without the AC with a duvet on. So which people like are like, wait, you live in Costa Rica and sleep with a duvet? I'm like,
I
get
know, I know. We just decorated I mean, like equipped a unit, not in Los Reyes, but on the beach, and I bought duvets, not thick ones, but because it's just cozy, and I think it adds to the
yeah,
comfort. And the owner was like, they'll never use it. And I'm like, they will,
yeah.
and they have.
Put the
People are
AC
like
on.
talking about it on Airbnb. They're like, love the duvets. I'm like, took to
Yeah,
sell.
it's cool. Or I mean, Chrissy, I mean, of the listings that you currently have, which one like really excites you and why?
Wow. I feel like we've focused a lot on Los Reyes, and I want to talk about like La Guasima in general, which is not only Los Reyes, but I probably the owners, my property owners would probably want me to, everybody wants me to mention them, right? I don't have a favorite, and I know that that's such a cliche to say, but it depends on who you are and what you're looking for, and then I'm going to have a favorite. Like I have a brand new property right now that's $795,000, fantastic four-bedroom, modern. Andres Morales is the architect, um, that I'm loving for a young family that's looking for modern comforts. And then I have an older home, which is one story, three bedrooms, in the high 500s, which I love. If you're coming down to kind of retire and you want that one story home, that's easy to get around. I have open lots right now for 5,000 square meters that I think are incredible pieces to develop.
Yeah,
So Los Reyes literally and La Guasima overall, because these lots that are 5,000 square meters are in Villas del Arroyo. They're not in Los Reyes. It depends on what you're looking for and who you are. I just had the opportunity. Well, we sold three, four lots to a gentleman from a German client, and he's remodeling one house. He's going to live in it for a while, and he's going to build his dream home next to it. So there's literally something for everybody. And there's a lot of, what I'd like to say. There's like a lot of um, I mean, I don't, the word's not lies, but just like fibs or like rumors on La Guasima. And it's not far. We're like 12 to, we're like 15 minutes, 15 to 20 minutes from the airport. We're 10 to 15 minutes from Santana. We're actually like super, super well located. There's not any more traffic in La Guasima than there is anywhere in Escazú or Santana. Costa Rica has it's a high traffic congested country right now. This has to do with maybe the lack of better planning, but it's not pertaining to this area. We're on the way to the beach. We're 60 minutes close to everything, far from the chaos. I mean, I can talk a lot about the pros, and this is an area that is not all over the map that everybody knows. It's a newer area. It's quite established, not new, and I wouldn't say, up and coming. We're far from that. Los Reyes was established 40 years ago, but what it is now, I mean, for the last 5 years, it's been nothing but growth. So we have larger lots, single family homes. Now there's some smaller homes for people. You know what's really cool, Richard? Something that I want to mention about this area. People that have lived in the bigger homes that are selling them, they're older, maybe their kids have gone and have left, are still wanting to stay in the community. So now there's these smaller homes, one-story homes, like in the 400, high threes, 400, low fours, that are being bought by people that had bigger homes in the community because nobody wants to leave.
Yeah. I mean, look, it's a great community. You don't need to preach to me. I mean, it's, I'd be very happy living there, on the golf course, riding around on my bike, and yeah. But Chrissy, this is my last question for you, my last one that I love to ask everyone. If you inherited $500,000 and you had to invest it into a business or real estate in Costa Rica, what would you invest it in and why?
Well, I mean, I probably sound like a broken record. I mean, I think, and
Sounds like you'd buy and flip in Los Reyes.
I do. That's what I was going to say.
What do you know?
I not necessarily have I inherited it, but I've certainly gained access to some of that of our own, and thanks to our good old bank friends. But I'm doing it. We're remodeling homes right now. Bringing them to modern life and flipping them. Flipping homes in Costa Rica is not something that made a lot of money people before,
Yeah.
but there's a big opportunity in Los Reyes right now. And something else that I think makes sense is investing for rentals, because there's not a
True.
lot of homes for rent. And right now, I think we have one on the market. So definitely buying something to rent it is also something I'd be doing, something I'm doing right now.
Awesome. Well, Chrissy, this has been absolutely amazing. You've been a wealth of information. Very much appreciate you taking time to join us on the podcast. Anyone that does want to get in
Thank you.
contact with Chrissy, all of her contact details will be down in the description, as well as links to her website. But we very much appreciate you coming on the podcast.
Thank you. I've loved being here, and thanks for the opportunity.
Not at all. Have a great day, Chrissy. Bye. Hey guys, it's getting a little dark here now over here in La Fortuna as the sun kind of goes down, but I hope you enjoy that podcast there with Chrissy. Again, I'm biased to Los Reyes. I had a lot out there. I was going to move out with my family. It's absolutely beautiful. It's just very comfortable living. You don't need a car always. You can have your kids in GDS. The supermarket's right there. You can have a golf cart. You can walk. You can bike. It's just very, very comfortable. And I think for a lot of people that are looking to take that step out of potentially relocating down here or investing in something, it's a very smooth and I wouldn't say half step because it is a full step, but it still has the comforts, if that makes sense, of the Western world, while having kind of that tropical freedom and feeling that Costa Rica has. So again, anyone that's interested, even just wants a conversation with Chrissy, she's an absolute legend. She's great to talk to, and all of her contact details are there in the description down below, guys. Remember, if you're looking to do anything here in Costa Rica or even invest, you can contact us as well. We have some investment opportunities available in Manuel Antonio and also in Arenal. So you can feel free to reach out to us, info@investingcostarica.com. That's info@investingcostarica.com. All those emails actually come to me directly, so I'm more than happy to respond to them as well and kind of direct them as is best. And again, a lot of you, even if you just want some help or direction, guys, just give us a shout. We're more than happy. I always say I'm a sucker for helping people. It's kind of how I got into this business. But anyway, until the next podcast, guys, we'll catch you later. Bye.
The #1 Costa Rica real estate and investment podcast, bringing you experts from all over Costa Rica.